Thank you and good afternoon, everybody. First of all, let me sincerely thank Dr. Satish Devpujari for having thought of me to actually have this a very quick deliberation. And I have heartfelt congratulations to the entire team of whatever is his development or creation today. I was his student and I have seen he has a scientific mind right from the days I have seen him during my graduation days. We always had very high regard for him and we are really very happy that he has reached to this stage. And I am really physically what Dr. Ved Prakash Mishra has said, that we started believing, he has been telling me about this, but we witnessed the creation, the entire creation of the team. I know he has a tremendous amount of enthusiasm and his teaching capabilities only his students know. In fact, the teacher's admiration or the position can be well recognized by looking at the placement of his students. And most of us, his students, they have been very thankful to him for taking us to very great heights. I have been asked to discuss COVID and lung, and in fact, mostly the long-term effects. As all of us know, predominantly when it started somewhere in the early 2020, the COVID was considered to be primarily affecting the lung or pulmonary specific virus. However, now we know that it has multiple other organ systems also involved, but when we discuss the long-term effect of COVID, to start with, it predominantly starts with cough, breathlessness and fever. But as we know now that almost 6 months of follow-up of our own patients, somewhere between April, May, June, we started having patients predominantly with lung involvement. Few of them were our doctor colleagues. And unfortunately, even today, there are few who are still having cough. There are few who have gradual regression of symptoms, but there would be around 2% population who definitely would have shrinkage in the lung size is shrunken. And that is lung fibrosis. Lung becomes stiff. And when I saw the innovation today, I think it correlates, the innovation has come up because of the background COVID epidemic. And COVID epidemic, the outcome is what you are seeing in front here, and this is going to really help in managing these patients. I am trying to take this topic little more focused, that when their patient has less of oxygen, that is the only indications to admit these patients. Rest of them are home isolation. So anybody who has less oxygen, moment he is taken to the hospital, he is given oxygen. And there are various modalities. We have already seen all 3 or 4 whatever available avenues to treat the patient. And invariably there is over oxygenation of these patients, which is likely to happen. Because there is less of oxygen, the patient is sick, he is hypoxic, he is breathless. So to save his life, oxygen is what is administered to him. It is a medical treatment, and as you know, oxygen is a drug. And because it is a drug, although it is beneficial, it can be harmful in effects also. So there is something called as hyperoxia. So when you are giving excessive oxygen, such kind of instruments will be extremely useful in titrating, monitoring the dosing of these patients. Because the high flow oxygen that is normally now given to our patients, we are not well near, because this is a new illness, the COVID. And if already the infection is posing fibrosis or some injury to the lung, oxygen as a treatment therapeutically shouldn't do harm to the patient. That is one concept which probably has been overlooked because there is over enthusiasm in administering oxygen to these patients. So coming to the long-term follow-up of this COVID lung, invariably there are right now in our own city good number of patients who are not able to walk out of their bed because of the affected lung. Number 2, there are patients who actually have decreased immunity, and that is the reason they are going to get repeated infections. So somebody who has been discharged with little bit of oxygen supplementation, later on has come back to the hospital within 3 weeks or maybe 4 weeks world over and in our own city. So we have to take proper precaution, educate these patients, and they have to continue the treatment with a good medical monitoring. So the gadgets that are being displayed today here, these are the gadgets which actually would help the clinicians to monitor the patient's outcome, and of course we have to now recounsel them, rehabilitate them. So pulmonary rehabilitation is a very important, significant thing. In fact, like what Dr. previous discussions have been discussing, that the assistance to the medical clinician through the gadgets or the equipment is extremely important. So when we actually look at the patient's lung capacity, most of the lung capacity or the equipments to evaluate the lungs are all imported. They are expensive. And some of the gadgets which are required for the patient in terms of the therapy. For example, they will require some therapy for deep breathing exercises. So those kind of equipments, gadgets are, because they are expensive, because they are imported. So moment I think there is little bit of shift of focus in creating some gadgets, most of these patients would definitely benefit. So I think there is tremendous confidence and this sort of a vision that is developed out of today's function. It will definitely sensitize more youngsters. Maybe even with the guidance of senior people, we should focus, definitely focus COVID lung and prospective, because in future it is very unlikely that the disease will get eliminated even if there is vaccine discussed today. See, because this is going to, if the pandemic might end, but then the epidemic or the small pockets, like as of today now, there are problems going on in Noida, there are pockets in Hyderabad, maybe Ahmedabad. So this is not the forum to discuss all that, but this problem of COVID is unlikely to get eliminated quickly. And if at all it does, over a period of time, there would be few more epidemic or few more some spurts of cases in some pockets in the country and world over. So I think one should be prepared, it should be backed up by technology, and we should be well aware about it. I will not go beyond this discussion. Thank you very much to all the team Satesh for giving me this opportunity to discuss this future of COVID lung. Thank you.